everyone, and welcome back to Royal Fashion News. My name is Brittany, and today we are going to be talking about Royal Ascot and that fashion we saw from the ladies there. I know I had a couple of requests for this video, and I'm so excited to share with you guys my thoughts, and so we will get right into that. But if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. I would like to get to maybe 100,000 by the end of this year, 100,000 subscribers, so that would be absolutely wonderful. So if you guys are interested, again, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you back. We do best and worst fashion looks, usually Tiara Tuesdays. I want to do some who wore it better. So there's been a lot of talk about the Aqua Zara pumps between Catherine and Megan. So we are going to talk about all that here on this channel. So if you guys want to check that out, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you want more royal commentary about the news and sometimes a little bit of gossip, I also have a main channel, Royal News Network. So if you guys are ever interested, I will put a link there down below. Also a weekly newsletter that I have, and an upcoming trip to Germany and Austria if you're interested in that as well. And guys, really quick here before we get too much into this video, there was actually a very fierce storm coming by while I was recording this. So you may hear me jump from time to time. I'll leave a bit of that in. I'll take some of it out, but you may just hear rumble in the background. Just be aware that is thunder. So we are fine though. As far as I'm aware, power is still on, but just FYI, big claps of thunder. So without further ado though, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, I won't spend too much time on Her Majesty Queen Camilla because honestly, a lot of her looks are very samey same. They have a very similar silhouette, basically not really much of a waist, more of a just something obviously that's very comfortable given her age. But I did want to point out something really quick here, and that is that Her Majesty wore Dior one of the days at Ascot, and that caused a lot of eyebrows to be raised because there had been a lot of talk that week about Harry and Meghan potentially getting a brand deal with Christian Dior. And I just do want to say that obviously the Brits and the royals, absolutely 100%, they can totally and completely do some very subtle shade. And if that's what happened here a smidge, I would not be surprised, nor would I blame anybody in the royal fold for perhaps turning the screws to Meghan a little bit there. But I do have to say, I think this comes down to, as somebody mentioned, and I'm so sorry I can't remember exactly who, but that this was probably actually an outfit that she meant to wear in France during their visit that was scheduled, I believe, during the springtime that ended up getting canceled. So this was for a state visit to France, probably because usually what you do when you go and visit another country is you wear fashion from your own country and fashion from your host country. So obviously Camilla was going to go in that direction. Before we go on to the rest of Royal Ascot, I did want to point out two other queens here, and that's Queen Matilda of the Belgians and Queen Maxima of the Netherlands. The Dutch were on a state visit to Belgium, and both the royal ladies pulled out their greatest tiaras. In Maxima's case, it is the house tiara, which is basically the Stuart tiara without the Stuart diamond. And she wore this gorgeous pink dress by a designer named Jan, and he designed a lot of the outfits that she wore for her coronation. And some of my all-time favorite looks for her. I think this is not the best, not knock me off my socks or anything, but I think the pink is lovely. Maxima likes to bring the bling, and we all appreciate her for it. So absolutely loving Maxima's look here. We also have Queen Matilda, and she is wearing her 9 Provinces tiara, which is her grandest. And while I don't mind the look, I like the cape. I like how both of the ladies move in their dresses. I think perhaps Matilda's could be fit a bit better. And I think that takes away at least from some of the look here. The blue is a gorgeous color. I just think the fit is a little off, and I think it could have been done a bit better and flattered her a bit more. Okay guys, so back to Royal Ascot, where the ladies are dressing very fine, although not quite as dramatic as what we get from Maxima. And so first on the list is a royal you probably don't know much about, and that is Sophie Winkleman. She is married to Lord Frederick Windsor, and she has been married to him for over close to, I think, 15 years now, if not 15 years. They got married a couple years before Will and Kate, and she was also in a very severe car accident where she almost was paralyzed, and she is an actress as well. and I believe she's on 2.5 Men, and she's done a couple other things, and so she looks absolutely lovely here, and I gotta give her a big shout out because I bought this same dress. I did an unboxing video, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll just put a link up there. And I got the lilac version of this dress. It's from Balula London. It was very, very popular. We saw a couple other people in it in yellow and one in blue, and so it was very popular look. It's very classic English. I love it on her. I think it looks fabulous. I think she looks amazing in it. She was actually one of my favorite at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee at the service of Thanksgiving. Her bright magenta dress, which is basically the same style but with long sleeves and pearls for buttons instead of these same colored buttons. That was probably actually my favorite look of the service, and so I just love this look here. Although I will say the only thing I don't like about it is the pillbox hat. I'm just not totally a fan of those. They just don't really do much for me, and they have to be very particular, but I will say too, it looks good. Although I have to say this woman here who's wearing this headband, I think actually got a bit of a better hat there. So, but anyways, bravo to Sophie. I think she looks fabulous here, so she gets one of my thumbs up. All right, so on now to one of my worst picks here, and I gotta go with Zara Phillips in this instance. I don't like this dress. I think it's a bit matronly. She looks fabulous. She looks absolutely fabulous. She wore these page jean jumper, like short jumper thing, to meet Mike in Australia. I thought she looked absolutely fabulous in it. She's in great shape, but I just don't think this is super flattering on her. I actually love the hat. I think the hat's pretty phenomenal. I'm not caring for the rest of the dress. I think the construction of the dress, like I said, is a little Jiminy Christmas. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm trying to record this while there's a storm raging outside. That big clap of thunder took me a bit by surprise, y'all. And so, yeah, so the construction of the dress, you can kind of see here in this picture a bit, it looks not great. It looks like something you could make, and so I would say here the construction isn't great. I'm not a fan of the fabric either. I don't think it's kind of a heavy fabric, it feels like. But otherwise, the color isn't bad. I will give her props. The color isn't bad. The designer of this dress is Laura Green London, and she has an Anya Hindmarch clutch, a Dune London shoe, and Juliette Millery hat. And again, the hat I think is fab. I like the color combination here. Just do not like the fit of this dress. I don't think it's great. And it's not, again, it's, you know, rather flattering, but I also think, again, it's a little bit matronly. And I'm about to lose electricity, guys. This is gonna be fun. Okay, so next we have on my best dress is one of my favorite royal ladies, and I'm just gonna include both of her looks here because I like them both, and she's obviously not as big of a hitter as some of our royal ladies, and that is Lady Gabriella Windsor. She looks, guys, oh, she's just such an English rose to me. She has really captured that essential, elegant English style. I think she looks absolutely fabulous, and I love both of her looks here. She wore a blue frock at the end, and so this was, I'm gonna guess, oh, I'm wrong, Claire Michevy dress, and it's in light blue, and she has an Aspinall of London. Apparently this coat dress that she's wearing in the blue is bespoke, and the hat is Philip Tracy, which is not a surprise. Obviously many people love their Philip Tracy hats, and I don't blame them at all. And again, I think she looks utterly elegant here, and I think she looks absolutely fabulous. And then I also love her bespoke Catherine Walker look, and she's obviously, I think, using the same Aspinall of London bag. And I will have to say, I think this dress could have used the belt, and I do actually like the hat. I think the hat works here, and I'll give you another example of a hat with a floral dress I think didn't work. I think this worked because it wasn't trying to compete too much with the colors in the dress. It did complement them, and so I think she looks fabulous here. And again, I just love the interaction between Charles and these extended members of the Kent family. So these are the family members of Prince and Princess Michael of Kent. So their daughter, who is Lady Gabriella, and then Sophie, who is their daughter-in-law. So again, looking absolutely fabulous, everyone. I think they look great. Okay, so on to another pick for worst dress here. And honestly, she didn't come through this event very well. And that is Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. This first look, I feel like she is at a restaurant and somebody is so worried that she's gonna spill that they put two little bows of napkins on her neck. And I don't get it. This is Susanna London. She wears Susanna London quite a bit. It actually underneath looks a lot like Balula London in the construction of the dress. I just don't like the thing on her neck at all. Just don't like it at all. I think it's bad. I think it doesn't work. It's just unnecessarily fussy, like if it was a bow or something, but what is that supposed to be? It just looks like you stuck giant napkins down both sides of your neck and are just hoping maybe that, you know, you need color for the buttons or something, so you're willing to get those stained. I don't get it. And I like a lot of Sophie's style, and I liked a lot of Susanna London's looks. Again, oh gosh, the napkins on the neck, just take those off. Those were a mistake. Maybe if it was a pussy bow or something like that, it could have worked, but this does not. This does not work. The hat's not bad. I have really no issues with the hat. She also has a Strathberry of London bag, and I will be, guys, starting to link things in the video products, and so if you're interested in checking those out, you can do so. And they are affiliate links, so just FYI, but if you're interested actually in Strathberry, I'll try to remember to put a link down below. They're actually having a pretty big sale right now, so if you're interested in the Strathberry bag, Catherine has held them, so has Zara, Megan as well, and I am interested in getting one of the tote bags because I do like the look of them. And I actually got a clutch, and I need to show it to you guys because I did a little unboxing video I filmed a while ago, and I do really like it. It's very, very beautiful. I got it on sale because, guys, I'm an epic sales shopper. I love a good sale. There's a lot of sales going on right now, so especially if you're interested in some of this pricier Royal stuff, you can definitely get it at a good price sometimes. I mean, it will still be expensive, but if you want to invest in some quality fashion, you can definitely go ahead and do so as well. So, okay, so let's move on now to another best dress look here. And I have to give this to Zara Phillips. This dress, guys, I love a good lace dress. I think this is beautiful. I think it's summery. I think it's perfect for the occasion. It's just so absolutely fabulous. So this is a Scanlan Theodore dress. Oh my gosh, I want this. Of course, it's expensive, so probably not. And she has an Aspinall of London bag, a Julia Mays pumps, and a bespoke Emily London headwear hat. And this look really works, guys. She's got also earrings from Lawrence Coste, an Astley Clark bangle, and another jewelry brand's bracelet. Again, guys, I think this is absolutely lovely. And oh, I should say as well, I'll try to find similar things to link to, so maybe it won't be the exact dress, but something similar. And again, like I said, guys, this is a gorgeous, elegant look. I love this. This is so summery, so perfect. I love how she updated the hat. I just think the hat's incredible. It's just amazing. Oh gosh, just quintessentially English in my opinion. Just absolutely stunning. I love and adore it. Bravo, Zara. Great look here. Okay, next on my worst dressed list, I have to give it to Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh again. I'm so sorry. I usually like a lot of Sophie's style here, but this was a huge miss, I think. It's way too busy. The hat is... You have the print dress, number one. So you have to be a bit careful here because you have a print, so you don't want too much going on because you already have a lot going on in your dress. But then she has the hat, which is not quite the same color as the more dominant colors within the dress. And then you have that she's actually mimicking the flowers of her dress on the hat. And then you have aquamarine jewelry, which is also not the same blue. It's too many colors, and they don't all go together. I think an easy fix here, just straight off the bat, I think, was to have the hat actually match the dress in terms of having the primary color of it match the primary color of her dress, which is cream or an off-white shade. And then maybe the blue accents would work more. I just feel like there's way too much competing here. And then you have the aquamarine jewelry, which doesn't match the blues in her dress, which are more violet. I actually think tanzanite would have actually been a better pick here. Obviously, Catherine has some tanzanite jewelry. I personally love tanzanite. I also love aquamarine, but I think the color here is more of a violet blue instead of a periwinkle blue, and then you got mixed with a light blue, and you got mixed with the more tanzanite blue color. It's too many blues. They all clash. And so this is just too busy a look. This is something where her hat either should have been much simpler, that there should have been no print in the dress, or there should have been, let's say, not as many colors within the dress, because I think too, you have too many colors competing. You have the reds, you have the blues, and she's mixing and matching the blues in addition to the different colors in the dress itself. So this again to me is just sadly a miss, and I'm not a big fan. For this flowered look, Sophie was wearing a Susanna London and Rachel Levy dress, Strathberry purse, she had Prada pumps, and Jane Taylor hat, and G. Collins and Sons jewelry. Again, I love all these individual pieces. I just don't think they go together. I don't think there's anything wrong with them individually, but I think this look ended up being far too busy. All right, next we have, and I'm gonna give this to Sophie, I'm gonna put her on the best dress look here because overall I do really like this look. I'm not a fan of the tie in the dress, but the color is phenomenal, and that is this other Susanna London dress. Sophie very much wears Susanna London quite a bit, and I think this dress here is absolutely lovely, and she has another Jane Taylor hat and a G. Collins and Sons jewelry here, and it is a gorgeous look. She actually won one of the races, not a personal horse she owned, but she bet on one of the races and her horse won. And so she is just celebrating that there. And so I just think this is gorgeous. And obviously she hung out with one of the best dressed there, and that was for sure Catherine, but we will get to her in a moment. Next up on my worst dress list, I'd be dishonest in saying this one is a bit hit or miss for me. I like it and then I don't like it, and that's this outfit from Zara Phillips. I really actually do like the hat, but the dress is to a certain extent too muted, and I feel like it needs perhaps a belt or something to give it a bit more dimension. It's so pastel. It wrinkled a bit because it seems to be more of a linen fabric. And I don't think it's super flattering on her. The color I think is good, but again, I think the belt could have added something to make it pop a bit more. The hat I think is fun and different. I don't feel like we see a hat like that on her too often. She does have a stylist now, and so I think she's having a lot more fun with her looks, which I think is great. And it's a dress I do like. It's a Leon Lynn, Cecilia linen dress. So obviously, yes, you got the linen, you got the wrinkles. She's wearing a Sarah Canterbury hat, and she has an Anya Hindmarch clutch, and we have a Sovereign Rain, which are new to her, and the Lawrence Coste earrings. And the pumps are supposedly new, but we got close-up pictures of them and they look like really old. It's kind of funny. So at least at the very bottom, but they obviously put her initials there, Zara Tindall. So I just think that is really cool. I would say there's something unfinished about the pumps in a way, but I mean, they're lovely, they're nice. Okay guys, so another one of the best dress looks, and of course I have to give it to Catherine, the Princess of Wales. This was a departure for her. The last several times she's been to Ascot, she's always worn a very muted color, usually in white. Sometimes we've gotten a light blue, and I do think this is lovely. Apparently she has worn this dress before. She wore it underneath the coat, so we couldn't quite see it. This is just a lovely surprise from her in the bright red. I think it looks beautiful. I love the hat. I love the dress. The silhouette of the dress is very classic, very elegant. And I do like that she's showing us another one of her vintage pieces. This time it is a vintage Hermes clutch, which I think is very nice. I looked those up. You can get those. They're not too pricey from what I saw on First Dibs. There's also Fashion File. If you're interested in some vintage finds, they have them sometimes as well, and you can usually get something for a pretty decent price. The only thing for me that I don't like quite as much about this look, and maybe why it's not in my #1 spot, is actually the earrings. I think the earrings actually distract a bit from the look. Yes, they make it a bit more fun, and yes, they make it, I think, perhaps a bit of a surprise, but at the same time also, too, I just can't get over the fact that I don't think they go with the hat. I think those earrings with that dress any other day would be totally fine. But I think with the hat elevates it. So having the hat that's very, you could say, streamlined and stuff, and yet the very boho earrings, I just don't think quite work. So my suggestion would be to have more of maybe a pair of ruby earrings, something a bit more elegant here. I appreciate that these are very affordable, that they're very lovely, that they have this boho feel, but I feel like the boho with the dress works if she's actually just wearing the dress and not the hat. And so when it comes to this look, Catherine is wearing obviously a bespoke Alexander McQueen, her vintage Hermes clutch, her Jennifer Chimandi pumps, which she has a couple of these now, so these may be her new favorite pumps. So when she started her royal career, she started with LK Bennett, and then she moved over to Gianvito Rossi, and she had other brands in there in between, and now it might be her Jennifer Chimandi phase. So, and her hat is Phil Tracy and her earrings are Cezanne. So they're actually from a past season. Apparently this is according to Royal Fashion Police, so apparently you can no longer get them, but they are lovely. I think, again, love the earrings. I just don't think they necessarily go with this particular outfit. Okay, so when it comes to your guys' choices, so I always try, and I haven't been quite as consistent as I would like to be. Best dressed for this recent week, you guys chose Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, in her pink ensemble. That was your guys' favorite, and I think that is a lovely piece. Again, I have these polls. I try to get these polls up on Instagram. I do think it's an absolutely lovely, lovely color on her, although I do have a different choice for my best dress. But when it comes to my worst dress of the week, you guys agree with me. It is Princess Beatrice in her first look at Ascot. So at the beginning of the Ascot week, she came out in a look that confuses me, and obviously as well we have found out that her mother has been recently diagnosed with cancer, so all the best wishes to Beatrice and the rest of the York clan, obviously. And so she just looks a little bit more, I would say, I guess, worn today. Like perhaps she had a rough night with the baby, or obviously her mother as well. And that's not to say anything bad, but it's just interesting to me that her look, which has been so streamlined, I think, and mostly pretty great. Occasionally she's had some, she went to a dyslexia event in New York City, and I would have to say her hair was rather messy. But in this instance, it just looks like she's not as polished as she usually has been. And so she is wearing a Balula London dress here, Chanel pumps. She also has a bag from Urban Outfitters, and then she also has a Juliette Millery hat. So this outfit to me, so number one, the dress. The dress looks like old wallpaper, like old lady wallpaper. It's not flattering. I love a lot of Balula London stuff. I own 2 of their dresses. I think it's fabulous. The dress, the pattern to me is just not great. It's not great. It's not flattering. The fabric itself has a bit of a sheen to it maybe, so it kind of exemplifies and continues that wallpaper motif, which I just do not like at all. And the shoes do not go with that dress. I don't know. She might have been preparing to wear something else and she had to change last minute. Of course, it's been a difficult week for her and the family, so if that happened, I of course understand, but they just really don't go with that dress. And the hat, I don't think really goes either. And you gotta think too, even though they've had a difficult week, they usually do plan these outfits out pretty well, and I just don't think this outfit works together. None of these individual elements look good together, and the individual elements, like the hat, I like. The shape of the dress isn't terrible. I don't particularly like huge bell sleeves, but I just don't think any of this particularly goes together, and so I have to say that is a big old miss from me, and you guys also agreed. However, I also think Beatrice, for me, is my best dressed of Royal Ascot. Like I said, guys, I love a good lace look, and I love her Monique Lillier long sleeve lace midi dress. It is stunning. It is beautiful. It's delicate. It's lovely. I think she looks fabulous. I love the hat. It's from JBH Millery. I think it looks amazing. She has her Gianvito Rossi pink satin pumps, which are on sale on Net-a-Porter. So if you are interested in that, I will link those down below. And they also have an additional deal for some 10% off. And she also has an Anya Hyde March Mod Pearl Satin Clutch. And she also apparently, according to another place I saw, her earrings are chopard. And I think the ring that she's actually wearing on her finger, one of her rings, is a love ring from Tiffany & Co. I think this look is regal and stunning. I even like her hair, how she did it. It's fun and interesting. And so this look to me is the best look of the bunch at Royal Ascot. I am just I love everything about it. I would not change a thing about it. And I think she looks utterly stunning. And again, all prayers go out to the rest of the York clan, but Beatrice, I think, takes the cake this time. I think she won Royal Ascot. So guys, let me know what you think of my choices. Let me know what your favorite look is. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize again for the very, very interesting soundtrack we had here. That was fun. I think the storm is mostly past, although we could have a lot more. So anyways, guys, power has held. Knock on wood, and I will be getting to editing this. Look forward to seeing you guys again really, really soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.